Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're going to be speaking on a Chicago rapper that was gunned down after bringing his mother a Mother's Day cake. Saturday, May 7th, 2022, Miss Diane Archer was attending a Mother's Day brunch where those close to her showed love and support, knowing the next day would be especially hard. Only 6 months ago, tragedy struck, and while violence in Chicago has become a normality, no mother would ever agree it's normal to bury their son. It was back in December at 6:30 in the morning when 23-year-old Sheridan Freeman was shot dead inside of a home, less than a mile from where he lived in Chicago's West Pullman neighborhood. The father of a 1-year-old boy, he worked as a videographer recording music videos for his brother and friends. His death marked the 800th homicide of 2021, and if that wasn't bad enough, he was killed only weeks before Christmas. This Mother's Day would be Miss Archer's first without him, and while she enjoyed brunch, her other son was returning home with a Mother's Day cake. Gunshots rang out at 2:45 in the afternoon on South Low Ave. Police arrived on scene finding a man dead after he'd been repeatedly shot. Another man was found with a gunshot wound to the leg, and as EMS was en route, a third man was found suffering from a gunshot wound to the chest. Both men were transported to a nearby hospital, one in stable and one in critical condition. Investigators would identify the body of 26-year-old Brandon Slater, learning he was walking out of his mother's house with a friend when a nearby shooter exited a vehicle and opened fire, killing him. 64-year-old Larry Purnell and his brother had been hired to mow the grass behind the home in preparation for a Mother's Day party. Hearing the initial gunfire, Larry walked around the side of the home towards the front when a bullet pierced his chest. He collapsed into his brother's arms, later dying at the hospital just 2 weeks shy of his 65th birthday. News networks arrived capturing the devastating scene as Miss Archer learned her second son had been killed. Investigators processed the scene as family processed what had happened, and it didn't take long before the streets started talking. Her son, Brandon Slater, was known throughout Chicago as Ynmm Benjee, a drill rapper and close associate of Benjee, a rapper known less for his musical talent and more for dissing the dead. Benjee would remix FBG Duck's song Dead Bitches, dissing a gang of people he likely never knew, and even going as far as taking a picture in front of King Von's mural. At one point, Benjee was exposed for flexing a BB gun on Instagram, and it seems since then he's been over the top disrespectful in an attempt to make up for the goofy shit. Benjee could be seen in multiple videos with Benjee, and as soon as news broke on Benjee's murder, many began accusing Benjee for being the reason behind it. Not in the sense that he got his man killed on purpose, but that all the dissing he was doing made him and everyone around him a target. Some blogs went as far as saying it was actually Benjee that was shot in the leg and survived the shooting after running and leaving Benjee to die. The rumor is yet to be confirmed and in itself doesn't really make sense. Anytime gunfire erupts, you're either hitting the ground or running. And if you're packing a BB gun, you might as well keep running because that shit ain't doing nothing for nobody. But the fact that Benjee was hit multiple times and the other man was only hit once, it makes me think Benjee was the actual target, meaning this could have derived from Benjee's own issues in the streets. After all, his brother was killed only 6 months ago. Not only that, but Benjee would go live on Instagram stating he wasn't even there. Benjee could be seen saying his legs work, he didn't get shot, and even going as far as moving his legs around. But the only thing he didn't actually do was stand up and take a few steps. Benjee would give the version of what he heard went down, even stating exactly how Benjee was killed.
Basically what happened was, bro went to go get, a cake for his mama for Mother's Day. He went to go get a cake for his mother for Mother's Day. He came back with the cake for his mother. He had his homie drop him off there. When the homie dropped him off there, they both got out the car. Benjee went to go take the cake in. Bro, I guess he was doing whatever by his car while Benjee was doing what he was doing until Benjee came back out. and a car came up. Niggas got out, got to shooting. They chased Benjee down first, stood over Benjee, then ran over the bro and shot bro up.
Either way it goes, Benjee's mother spent Mother's Day without her sons, and Mr. Purnell's wife spent Mother's Day without him, sharing her grief with the news as her own son had been killed by gunfire 5 years before.
I'm just hurting right now, and I want it to stop. I've been with him since I was 14 years old, when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
So I don't know nobody else. That's all I had.
I highly doubt these deaths will have an effect on Fendi Boy's career, as the only reason he's gained any following is off dissing the dead. So him switching his style would most likely cause his career to die next. At the same time, he isn't getting spared, as many have already begun dissing Benjee, returning the same energy Fendi puts out. It just goes to show the cycle of violence will continue, and innocent lives will be devastated by those who don't value life. Now, in one breath, you could say this is a sad situation, but in the same sentence, you could say you're not surprised. It's sad for the mother, the sisters, the family, but for those that are putting themselves in music videos, flexing guns, dissing the dead, it's hard to feel sympathetic because it's the energy that you put out. Every dead person you diss, there was someone that cried for that person. And seeing Fendi on live talking about he's been crying for 2 days and this and that, and it's like, now you know why people say don't diss the dead. Maybe you haven't experienced it before, but now you're experiencing it. Now you're feeling the pain that comes with it. And even in an Instagram story post, he said something along the lines of he's getting grandmas and aunties.
I love you, brother. And you know I'm standing on top of that business for you. And you know it's always gonna be fucked up. So folks know I'm finna fuck niggas' heads up. They finna hate me now. You thought I was you thought I was on some shit at first. Y'all finna hate me now. For real. Grandmas, aunties, all that.
Me personally, I don't have any respect for that shit. Cause at the end of the day, you know, go and get who the fuck you have an issue with if that's how you stepping. If not, you're gonna hit grandmas and aunties, people that aren't even involved, people that aren't even actively looking for you. That shit just looks weak. You know what I'm saying? It looked about as weak as flexing a fucking BB gun, but hey, to each its own. You know, there's certain things that happen in people's lives depending on the type of life that they're living that makes them do one or two things. Change the direction of their life or fall victim to it. This seems to be one of those things with him, especially being that it was a close friend that got killed. And I don't really believe he was the one that got shot in the leg. I don't know, I just don't think it happened to him. Maybe it did. And at the end of the day, you know, you got everyone saying, oh, you ran on your man, you left him to die. If a shooting pops off, you need to get the fuck from round if you don't got a gun to shoot back. At the end of the day, you're not gonna look back and do some Saving Private Ryan and try to drag your boy out of the line of fire. It isn't gonna happen. And from what he was told, from what Fendi Boy knew, dudes got out of the car and stood over Benjee and kept putting bullets in him before they went after everyone else. There was no saving him. But for a mother to be celebrating her first Mother's Day without one son, and then 10 hours before Mother's Day her other son gets killed, and not only that, an innocent man who was only there to work gets shot and killed in the process of her son getting murdered. Let me hear y'all thoughts and comments in the comment section. It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all, y'all rocking with me. Till next time.